Continuing the Viking Portable Library World Bible, edited by Robert O. Ballou. The Confucianist. Kind of like the South Carolina flag, isn't it? Well, not really, because there's a couple of people in there. And they certainly wouldn't have put Asian people on their flag back in the day. But Confucius Scriptures from the Leak Key. Lee's ritual, right? The nature of universe and man. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something similar. Man is the product of the attributes of heaven and earth, by the interaction of the dual forces of nature, the union of the animal and intelligent souls, and the finest subtile matter of the five elements. Heaven exercises the control of the strong and light force, and hangs out the sun and stars. Earth exercises the control of the dark and weaker force, and gives vent to it in the hills and streams. The five elements are distributed through the 4 seasons, and it is by their harmonious action that the moon is produced, which therefore keeps waxing for 15 days and waning for 15. Well, slightly less than 15 on each, because it's 29 days, 12 hours, 44 minutes, or something like that, some odd seconds. The 5 elements in the movements alternately displace and exhaust one another. Each one of them, in the revolving course of the 12 months of the 4 seasons, comes to be in its turn the fundamental one for the time. The 5 notes of harmony, with their 6 upper musical accords and the 12 pitch tubes, come each, in the revolutions among themselves, to be the first note of the scale. The 5 flavors, with the 6 condiments and the 12 articles of diet, come each one, in their revolutions in the course of a year, to give its character to the food. The 5 colors, with the 6 elegant figures which they form on the 2 robes, comes each one, in the revolutions among themselves, to give the character of the dress that is worn. Therefore man is the heart and mind of the heaven and earth, and the visible embodiment of the 5 elements. He lives in the enjoyment of all flavors, the discriminating of all notes of harmony, and the enrobing of all colors. Thus it was that when the sages would make rules for men, they felt it necessary to find the origin of all things in heaven and earth, to make the 2 forces of nature the commencement of all, to use the 4 seasons as the handle of their arrangements, to adopt the sun and stars as the recorders of time, the moon as the measure of work to be done, the spirits breathing in nature as associates, the 5 elements as giving substance to things, rules of propriety and righteousness as their instruments, the feelings of men as the field to be cultivated, and the 4 intelligent creatures as domestic animals to be reared, the origin of all things being found in heaven and earth. They could be taken in hand, one after the other. The feelings of men. So, the different varieties and all that. Just indulge yourself in the varieties and try to figure out the source of things rather than, this dude says it. What? Well, how does this apply to this world? The above and below. What are the feelings of men? They are joy, anger, sadness, fear, love, disliking, and liking. Take advantage of each of them, right? These 7 feelings belong to men without their learning them. What are the things which men consider right? Kindness on the part of the father, and filial duty on that of the son. Gentleness on the part of the elder brother, and obedience on that of the younger. Righteousness on the part of the husband, and submission on that of the wife. Kindness on the part of the elders, and deference on that of the juniors. With benevolence on the part of the ruler, and loyally on that of the minister. These 10 are the things which men consider to be right. Truthfulness in speech and the cultivation of harmony constitute what are called the things advantageous to men. Quarrels, plundering, and murders are the things disastrous to men. Hence, when a ruler would regulate the 7 feelings of men, cultivate the 10 virtues that are right, promote truthfulness of speech, and the maintenance of harmony, show his value for kindly consideration and complacent courtesy, and put away the quarreling and plundering. If he neglect the rules of propriety, how shall he succeed? The things which men greatly desire are comprehended in meat and drink, and sexual pleasure. Those which they greatly dislike are comprehended in death, exile, poverty, and suffering. Thus liking and disliking are the great elements in men's minds, but men cannot keep them hidden in their minds, or they cannot be fathomed or measured. The good and the bad of them being in their minds, and no outward manifestations of them being visible. If it be wished to determine these qualities in one uniform way, how can it be done without the rules of propriety? So there's a control system and a reward system, and you got to address both of them in your perfecting yourself as a human being. The functions of the ruler. Heaven produces the seasons. Earth produces all the sources of wealth. Man is begotten by his father and instructed by his teacher. The ruler correctly uses these 4 agencies, and therefore he stands in the place where there is no error. Hence the ruler is he whose brightness men look. He to whose brightness men look. Lucifer is the ultimate teacher. I mean, light bringer, not, it doesn't mean devil. He does not seek to brighten men. It is he who men support. He does not seek to support men. It is he whom men serve. He does not seek to serve men. Therefore, the people imitate the ruler, and we have their self-government. They nourish the ruler, and they find their security in doing so. They serve the ruler, and find their distinction in doing so. Obey what you believe to be God. Obey what you believe to be the messenger. And those who have been put in authority over you, but authority in terms of like a guardian sort of authority. If they're not asking you to disobey the revelation and the inspiration. Therefore, the ruler, making use of the wisdom of others, will put away the cunning to which that wisdom might lead him. Using their courage, he will put away passion, and using their benevolence, he will put away covetousness. Therefore, when it is said that the ruler, being a sage, can look on all under the sky as one family, and not on in the middle states as one man, this does not mean that he will do so on premeditation and purpose. He must know men's feelings, lay open to them what they consider right, show clearly to them what is advantageous, and comprehend what are their calamities. Being so furnished, he is then able to effect the thing.